Hey, rock stars, hope you guys all had a great Christmas. And I just want to shoot a quick video here because lately I've just been really inspired and encouraged by many of you who are taking the time to do some goal setting activities for next year. And it's just really awesome to see everybody taking that so seriously and really taking the time to sit down and write out the game plan for what they want to accomplish next year. So, like I said, it's inspired me so much that I couldn't help myself. I want to shoot a quick video here to talk about that because I know many of you are using some form of the goal setting that Keller Williams recommends, like the 411. Maybe it's the 135. And if you don't know what these acronyms mean, just see any one of us and we can help you out. But the point is, no matter what method you're using, is that you're doing it. You're taking the time to just sit down, reflect, organize your thoughts, and just put pen to paper and say, you know what, this is what I want to get out of next year, and this is what I want to see show up in my life. Because after all, right, a goal is just merely a wish unless it's written down. Because unless it's written down, it literally doesn't exist in this world. So just the fact that you're taking the time to write it out, not type, not just brainstorm and share your thoughts verbally with somebody, write it down. I'm telling you, there's something magical about doing that. So I just want to take a few minutes to go over some goal setting approach that I have used in the past in addition to the 411 or maybe the 135 if you're already using those. And if you're not using those, then you know what, maybe you can use this method that I'm about to share with you as an alternative. So I've got some notes here. If you see me glancing down, I just wanted to make sure I'm staying on track. So first off, get a journal. Get something that you can write with and just keep handy throughout the year, especially starting out when you're writing your goals. So first thing is first is get a notepad, get a journal, get something that you can always keep handy for yourself. First, what I want you to do is reflect on 2014. Write down like a best of. So when you open up that journal, I want the first page to be a best of 2014. Now, this is not necessarily, what goals you had set for yourself and accomplished. No, that's not what this is. It's just more or less a year in review. Think back to everything you can think of, the highlights and all the positives of this past year, and just write those down on that first page, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Something to help you to jog your memory is maybe you look back on Facebook and see some of your old Facebook posts and say, "Oh yeah, that was a really cool thing. You went on that vacation or a random act of kindness that or whatever it could be, guys. Just write down those highs on that first page in your journal." So next is I want you to have a section on this next page or however many pages you fill up doing that first activity. I want this one to be titled Grow and Learn. So I want you to take a moment. I don't believe in the word failure because as long as you learn from it and you get back up, there's no such thing as failures. So we're going to call this a grow and learn section of your journal entry and write all the things down that you didn't quite accomplish in 2014 that you wanted to. Again, rather than saying it's a failure, it's just things that maybe you didn't quite get to or didn't quite accomplish, and just be real with yourself, guys, because I think so many of us focus obviously a lot of the time on the positives, and that's great, but you can learn almost more, I would challenge you, from the negatives or the things that didn't quite go your way. So unless we reflect on those things instead of turning a blind eye to them, we can't ever be sure that we're not going to make that same mistake again. So take a minute, step number 2, and have a learn and grow section in your journal where you write down some of the things that maybe you just fell short on in 2014. The next thing I want you to do after that is the third step is just make a list of all the goals that you did accomplish this past year that you set for yourself. So you can take a minute to celebrate those victories. So unlike the first section where you're just going to write all the positives and the highlights that come to your mind, this section is going to be like, okay, you know what? In 2014, I set a goal for myself to lose 30 pounds, and I did it. That's where I want you to be able to check that box and say, you know what, this was a specific goal I set for myself, and I did it. And that is what I want you to have as your third section as we get started in this goal setting activity. Now, the next series of steps. So there was 3 steps right there as we reflect on 2014. I think you can't look forward unless you look backwards first. The next series of steps that I want you to do is look forward to 2015. I want you to start by doing a goal storm session. So we've all heard of doing a brainstorm, right? Where you just let your ideas flow on paper and they're limitless, right? I want you to do the same thing, but for your goals. So it's a goal storm session. Everything that you want to see show up in your life. Don't judge yourself. Don't wonder if it's possible. Don't even put a time frame around it. Just whether it's next year or 10 years from now, what do you want to see show up in your life? Have fun with this, guys. Let your imagination wander. And what do you want to show up for your family if you could paint that perfect picture of the life by design that you want to create for them? So once you do that, I'm going to challenge you to fill up 2-3 pages full. Take your time with it. Really think about what you want in life and just pen to paper. Let it flow, guys. Have fun with that. The next step I want you to do is then take those and create categories. So you're going to create maybe 5 to 8 different categories. And some of those things may be like vacation, financial, spiritual, health, business, whatever it is. You get the point. But I want you to start taking those things that you did in your goal storm activity and placing them underneath these categories, okay? Ideally, I want you to have maybe 5 to 10 goals under each category. So first step, do the goal storm activity. Write just everything that comes to mind that you want to accomplish in your life, period. Next step is come up with categories and then take those goals that you set for yourself and put them under each category. Then the third step, finally, is I want you to take a top list, okay? Out of all of those things that you just wrote down under each category, really go through them and come up with maybe the top 5, maybe the top 6, 7, or 8 goals, whatever it is, that you want to achieve in 2015. It's not that the other things are not important, but if you achieve these top 5, maybe 8 goals, it would have the biggest influence and impact in making sure that the others fall into place, okay? It's kind of out of Gary Keller's book, The One Thing, such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or even unnecessary, right? Perhaps it's the stepping stone to something bigger that could happen in 5 years. So let's say, I want to go to outer space, for example. Well, I want you to be realistic, okay, when you're doing this final step. You know what? That's not going to happen in 2015. I'm not going to go to outer space in 2015. But maybe I would in 5 years by 2020, okay? So it's okay to be realistic on this final step, like I said, and really spend time thinking about what's the absolute most important things that you want to accomplish next year, whether that is a stepping stone to something bigger, or it's one thing that you can be able to check off your box and say, you know what, I did it. My closing thoughts are this, you guys. Does this take time? Yes. Should this be done in peace and quiet? Yes. Is it going to be difficult and stretch you outside your comfort zone at times? Yeah, I hope it does. But some of you may be thinking right now that this is hokey or it's too time-consuming, but I'm going to challenge you with that. I said, guys, this is your life we're talking about. How serious about your life are you? Okay, we spend more time generally planning a vacation than we do spend goal setting and planning our life out. All right? Well, I got news for you. If you're not planning your life, someone else is doing that for you, and you're going to end up working for the man. We don't think any of us want to go back to that. So I want you to take 2015 and approach it like a laser pointer instead of a flood lamp. Many of us look through that lens and it's like we want to accomplish all these things, but we have no idea how to do it. Guys, go at this with that laser focus. Imagine that laser pointer light that you play with your cat at home with if you're anything like me. And that's the kind of approach and focus I want you to take this next year. So take the time, do your goal setting. And guys, this is the first step of 3 of the most important things that you can do, in my opinion, to be successful. This is the secret sauce. Step number 1 is doing the goal setting. Step number 2 of that 3-part process, in my opinion, is then developing a strategic plan and then taking massive action. And then the cycle repeats over and over and over again. Goal set, develop a plan, take massive action. I'm not sitting here saying you guys are going to be rich or this is just going to magically happen and show up in your life. I'm not saying that at all. But the very first step is writing down your goals and having clarity around what it is you want to accomplish. And then if you do that, it boils down to planning and strategy and then taking action. All right. So guys, thank you so much for watching this. I believe in all of you. 2015 is going to be absolutely amazing. Like I said, guys, just go crush your goals. throw caution to the wind, don't look back, have no regrets. And like I said before, I believe in every single one of you. If you want help or need insights on ideas of what goals and strategies to come up with, come see me. I'm happy to help you. Guys, take care. Thanks for watching.